Let's try to look serious. Welcome to a Halloween day of talking about magic. Oh, wait, hold on a second. What do? Of talking about magic, cards. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about whatever source divine has in mind. Welcome. Welcome to Be So Light. On a normal day, we just kind of show up and do all our light work. But, well, today is the last day of October. And it is Halloween. So, I have to start off with something. Hello, Mystic Healer. Hello. Grab your tea, grab your water, grab your goodness, grab all your stuff. Come on in here. So, I gotta start off with this first before I jump into my character of self. So I go and pick up my mail. And I'm like, okay, I got probably a lot of mail I'm gonna pick up. I go pick up my mail. Go get it. And when I get the mail, I see this one envelope that's kind of like something's in it. You got something in it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So it was mailed out on the 14th of this month. I'm just now getting it. All right. So I want you all to keep your eyes open for this next hoorah. All right. So it was some kind of AV Med quest thing. 7725 West Reno Avenue, Suite 385, Oklahoma City, Florida, 32602. Sent me. Now, keep in mind, I haven't been in any hospitals recently where they have taken my blood and running any tests. I had a chest x-ray, but that was last year sometime. Fine, nothing going on. But I have not had anything going on where they had to take my blood and do anything for quite some time. I'm pretty sure I'm approaching I can't even remember the last time I got blood taken. Maybe 2012? Maybe 2016? I have no idea. But anyway, keep your eyes open for this if you get this crazy ass shit in the mail. So, it was we invite you to participate in a colon screening program. Hello. It's quick and it's easy. And there's no cost to you. I'm sure there is a cost to me. Knowing these lab test results will help you and your doctor monitor your colon bowel health. Okay. So they sent the kit. I left it in the envelope. I did not touch it. Because I don't know if these people are real. I don't know what the whole thing. But they sent me a form and they got it all printed out with my information all on here. Everything. Wanting me to have this. It has a doctor on here who specializes in fecal globin immunochemistry. Source from fecal. Okay. So you need to send this kit back by December 17th of 2024. So there's a time limit on my shit for the test. You will get your results in the mail about 3 weeks after you send a kit back. Okay, hold on a second. You got all my information here. You put it all on here. Okay? Everything's on this request form. But you're going to mail me my results in 3 weeks. Shouldn't a doctor be calling me that actually is running a test? Dun dun dun! So, first of all, I never requested it. Second of all, I haven't seen any doctors that's put a request in. Third of all, what kind of bullshit shenanigans is this now? Now you're trying to get in our butts and get something? Sickos! You're sick, demented beings! You need to be faded off of the face of the earth. These beings are now trying to get into your bunghole. I mean, I just am disgusted with this request. Do they even know who they're asking for? Uh-oh, I done slipped into that other side of me. Here comes. This is the priestess of the shadow of Halloween. These mere little human beings with their little telescopes and their little poking and prodding. That's not enough to be taking things and ramming it up our noses. Now they want to have access to your bunghole. Sending a form in and talking about they want me to participate in something like that. Well, I say, hell no to the high no. I'm not giving you jack shit. Well, I know why, because I didn't ask for it. I haven't seen no doctor ask me for it. And I don't know who the hell you are in Oklahoma City of Florida. I'm in California. So when I saw it, I said, don't open the envelope. I heard real clear, don't open the envelope. And I'm like, okay, Spirit, I ain't gonna open the envelope. Said, keep it sealed up, put it in a plastic bag, put it in the trash. That's what I heard. Okay. So it's in the trash, and I just thought I would share that with my Be So Light family, that they're now trying to figure out creative ways to run tests on you so they can put more fear in you and put you on drugs and stuff. That's, how do you know? Should I be trying to trust anybody like that? Hell no. Tick tock, tick tock. Well, now, lovelies, here we go. We're in this beautiful time of Halloween now. There's some scary stuff going on, and there's all the histories and all the crazy stuff on the dark side of Halloween. But I'm here to bid you adieu. Let's just take a look or two at some cards and talk about this movie. Creators of the Past. Now, y'all, I got my notes. Eight pages of notes on this movie that was 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now, let's get this straight. This movie is supposed to be fictional. We're not supposed to be smart enough to figure out the details. So, let's just dive into this, shall we? And if you watched the movie, please put your observations in the chat. Let's take a look at this. Now, the movie opens up with, where are you from? What are the great planets? Have you ever wondered those things? A voice that's asking you this. But then it tells you there are 8 planets, 8 lords, and 8 lenses. Now the lenses have all the power and they carry the DNA, the memories of all that exist. And it has a nucleus, the core. Now, you have all these lords. Let's see. Kanoth, Sophia, Alex, Nathan. Then you have the powerful goddess, Lady Air. Okay? Then you have the one that's all in white. She's giving the message, JoJo. Then you have, who's the other one? Cal. Cal. He was all in there. So let's just break it down. The lenses, when I saw the picture of the lens, it is exactly like what they were chasing in the movie Assassin's Creed. Okay? They had it in the apple. They made it look like an apple, but it was still that lens. All right? So you have your characters, and then don't forget that Lady Air has a son called Tammuz. Okay? He is the son of the Scorpion King and Queen. All right? So in this movie, it's all about timelines. It's all about dimensions. It's all about how they want humanity, the humans, to really come into themselves. But they always say humans always need intervention. And if they don't get it right, they're quick to the snap to start all over again. Start the whole DNA experiment over again because it didn't go right the way they wanted it to. Now keep in mind, these are the lords that are doing this. Sounds familiar? Then, everything is on a frequency code of alignment with these lenses. Because these lenses have all the recorded history, all the DNA, and that nucleus in the center. Now, you got 3 things going on. You have Sophia, who was taken as a little girl through the light, through aliens abducted her. Okay? Then you have Alex, who's like a doctor, but he kind of does this thing with sound. And he's working with trying to teach people about how to be in harmony. All right? Then you have Nathan, who's the little boy who's tapped into the game, the little game board. He's got to be in that world. He's tapped into the AI, the game. Sounds familiar? Okay. So, after there's a talk in the council about how the humans need to get in alignment for this whole alignment thing to happen, the lenses have to be in the right spot on the disc that turns, that's going to align with the alignment, that's going to take the humans into their next transformation. Sounds familiar? So the Lords talk amongst themselves before this they gets into all of this, and they say they have a new God now. They have a new God. And that God is money made from paper, and they worship it. So this starts to put the Lords in all of this. We got to do something because we got the planetary alignments. Those planets are going to line up. We got to do something. They got to get ready for their next transformation. If this does not work, we have to start over. So you have the year 1992 when Sophie was taken. Then you have the year when you're introduced to Lady Ayre's son. He's in the year 3000. What year is he in? 3000 and, hold on, I got the years written. He's in, no, excuse me, not in the threes. There's 8609, 1331 timeline, 2012 timeline. And then her son is in the 3603 timeline. I think it's 3603. It'll show up. Okay, so he's the warrior. He's the one that can turn himself into a scorpion with the wings. And then he goes out and can get rid of any type of energy or whatever, or person that's not working with it. But meanwhile, there is this fleet of flying mosquitoes. Almost look like locusts, but they're not locusts. They fly around, and if you're not conforming like the Faith Master was not conforming to what they were planning to do, to mind control everything. Okay. Cortez, no, honey. This is our Be So Light. We're talking about the movie Creator, The Past. If you haven't watched that movie, you're going to be lost in the mix. Go run along now. Don't come up in here. So, in this part of it, the mosquitoes, pay attention to that. How funny is it that they have mosquitoes in this movie? Okay, they have mosquitoes. The mosquitoes will inject and bite you and deaden your light and then make you go dark, and then your eyes turn black and you become a part of the Dark League. So they hijacked the Faith Master. Okay. So as this movie goes on, you got to keep in mind this movie has all this Latin information, and you have to translate it out because they're showing it to you. And when I went through and translated it out, I was like, oh crap, what do? So if you didn't translate it out, you got to translate it out. So as it gets into the first part of the movie, they're setting up, getting ready for that alignment. The two doctors are in an office room. They have these two books that lever out to kind of like open a secret passageway to a downstairs part of the hospital. Okay? Where they're experimenting on abductees. They got it all in the system. They know who's been abducted, when, and what year, where they are on the planet. Sounds familiar? Now keep in mind that this is supposed to be a fictional movie. Yes. 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 Okay. So the two sit at the table now. The two female doctors sit across the table from each other. And they go into the talk. And they start saying news, the web, all of that. How they're talking about, oh yes, we have this, they called it their, I want to say they called it their super virus, possessed by blah, 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 Susan of Wars, their virus. And then they're sitting there with smiles on their face saying, and yes, the ones that it'll affect, it will be a pandemic. And they're smiling about it as they're talking to each other across from their table. And then their eyes turn black and then they go, as above, so below. I'm like, bitches, please. All right. Let me stay with it. Hey, lovelies. We're having fun today. So I'm talking about a movie. Okay, I'm going to shorten it up. I'm not going to bore everybody with all the details of everything that I found out. But I did leave B-Dell 1014 information about this movie if he hasn't heard about it. And I left him an information. Yes. Exactly. So I left him info about the movie. And I said, hey, you got to check this out. Because he was talking about the Halloween stuff last night when he did his presentation. And I was like, and then he had that one part in his video of this man that was talking about Bigfoot. And what B-Dell was talking about in the video for the Halloween ties into parts of the movie that we were watching. When it shows the scene where Lady Air, she goes into the Phoenix, she's flying through the air because she's going to go get the lens and get rid of Kanoff, get rid of him. Okay, get rid of him. Gonna send him to, after they fight with each other, because he set it up. He says the loser will go to the, what was that? The cell. Oh no, there's a name for it. I wrote the name. We'll go to the, what was that name? The crypt. We'll go to the crypt. Okay? So when she faces off with the one that they want to get the lens from because he's not cooperating and they want to start all over kind of crap, he loses because the crypt, she brought her son into her bracelet. So her son's spirit goes into her bracelet. She shows up to do the duel with Kanoff. And when she comes and steps back, she releases her son, who then goes and pushes Kenneth through the cross, the four direction, into the crypt. Okay? Pushes him into the crypt. Now the crypt, I was kind of laughing. He gets pushed into the crypt because his whole thing was to get Lady Air and push her into the crypt. But no, she pushed him into the crypt because she had her son, which is the warrior, to push him into the crypt. So he goes into the crypt, and in the crypt, it is a crypt, and it's called the Cell for the Gods. And I said, oh, Gitmo. That's the first thing I thought of. I said, oh, the Cell for the Gods. Oh, Gitmo. So this little light comes across. He gets banished into the crypt. So then these orbs are all flying around, and if he tries to use his god magic whatever, they like zap him and say that's a violation or something, and say welcome to the cell of the crypts, and he simply says fuck you. So he's in here, but there's a keyboard organ in there that doesn't work really well. He's like in this like holding space, okay, where the gods go. So the only way he can get out of there is he has to tap into Nathan, the young boy, Mr. I'm playing with my keyboard, tap into him to get him to come into that space. So he hijacks this kid. So this kid is in the crypt with this Lord. He takes over the body by simply having him play the keyboard so he can now get out of there through the boy. And it's all about portals and timelines, okay? Portals and timelines. So in essence, Nathan is representing the innocence, but he's also tied into the Christ energy as well as Lady Ayres. But when Alex, God, it gets confusing, goes to a orange throwing ceremony ritual that they do in Italy, they disguise that lens because they're looking for the one lens that's missing so they can do that alignment thing, right? They disguise it as an orange, and Alex happens to be the one, for whatever reason, when it's thrown, he gets it directly in the third eye, in his orange helmet thing that he's wearing to kind of like protect himself, and it knocks him out. So he's connected in the journey along with Sophie. But Alex's friend, late at night, decides he's going to mess around with the little lens, opens it up, activates. He sees how Jesus came about. He sees how a woman was taken by the aliens, impregnated, and then she gives birth to Jesus, and then shows a whole cycle. He's watching the whole thing, and he's like astounded. This is the truth of what the whole thing was. And then when it comes to his resurrection, there's a light that comes into the tomb that opens up the tomb, and then that essence of Jesus returns back to the stars with that alien being. And I'm like, oh my God, geez, whoa. So we already know in our true reality here, all the things that we've been told, how everything is unraveling, how everything is said. And this movie literally walks you through it in a way so that you will see it. So the things that were in Latin, I'm going to start wrapping it up because if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. Okay? Yes. The things that were said in Latin when they were going and that little girl was singing and there was these Latin language underneath. The first one, Dio ascoltoro questo vas, says listen to the voice and hear the voice. And then the next one, it says help the children, help the sons. Save us from the shadows. The book of the call, I think of the call, the book of calculation is about the Fibonacci of creation. Fibonacci, okay? You were born to love, not in the violence. So there has like you were born love to violence. That's this last part when it says that. So the one thing that they always say about the humans is that all they ever do is they fight amongst themselves. They don't know the value of who they are. That's all they ever do. Okay? Especially after they took out the faith master and then converted him. So, when Alex finally meets up with Sophie to play out the rest of the movie towards the end, she gets hit with one of those swarms of mosquito thing because they're trying to abduct her because she can get her hands on the lens. She can find the lens. She can have it. So Lady Air gets all this energy going. She's going to use her to locate that lens. So when Alex sees her in a wheelchair, he's trying to give her back her scarf and she's like out of it. So then he's like looking at her saying, okay, what's going on? But she was being pulled into the elevator number 5. And I said, change, transformation. And then that's it. And then it's that the person who was pulling her into the elevator breaks into all this swarm of flies or mosquitoes or whatever. So, towards the end, after they get their alignment and it's coming in, they're still looking for the one lens to do the activation. Finally, Sophia has it. They do a battle. Alex and Knopf go off into the underworld. They fall into the lava. She comes out, but she gets transformed, reset back to the little girl who started in the beginning of the movie, who was singing the song with the blue eyes. And then this time you see Lady Air standing behind her, as though this was a reset, starting over. She's got the lens. And I said, okay, so this is telling us that the divine feminine energy has the creative lens that is the reset of the evolution of humanity. So the movie is like super deep, and you have to pay attention, and you have to really decode when they go off into their symbols. The lion, the book that turns the page, how they gather and they say the internet will be the death of all of us because they have access to information. And I said that's funny because that yesterday I heard on the news they were talking about, not the news but roll through, talking about they want to get rid of TikTok because by January 19th. And I said, yeah, you want to get rid of that because there's too many people over there putting out too much information through the timeline of Thoth. And they can't, it's happening so fast, they can't keep up on it. So of course they want to get rid of it. Okay? This is what YouTube used to be like when we had such freedom to be able to say and speak and do whatever, but only certain few people on YouTube can come on and talk about whatever the hell they want to, and nobody touches them. Their videos don't come down. They can say whatever they want, and nothing gets done with them. Okay? But others who would try to do the very same thing that person does, videos are down. True speaker to the hill, if you're shining too much light, they come after you. The shadow ones. Or what they called in the movie here, the hiders. They hide in the background looking for you. And I started thinking about that dream I had when I was being chased by those 3 beings and ended up in that old broken down nursing home. And I said, how interesting they were using the hospital doing all this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there because it's a really deep, entailed movie. I kept, at the end of the movie, one of the statements before the movie ends, they say, news, the web, too many reporters of aliens. The web is becoming a dangerous instrument. of information. So when these beings are trying to hide out amongst us, especially how they were talking about it in the movie, they don't want to be discovered. They want to be able to do all their stuff. And then they're hiding out. And then we got all this people putting things out. So now let me titrate this back in to what Bedell was talking about. How he broke down Halloween. How he described it all and was putting it all together. And then when he had the one guy that was telling his story about Bigfoot, how he saw Bigfoot. Okay? And I thought it was interesting in the movie, it shows the floating, like cities, floating things floating on those kind of like upside down pyramid type of things. They were floating. And then Bedell, the guy that was in his video, was talking about, yes, this Bigfoot being took him through a portal, and he was able to see things went through a portal of a tree, took him through there, and he was able to see all of this, the floating cities, the golden cities, things that were floating, the pyramids, things that we know exist, but we think is from the past, but yet they're existing right now. And the main message of that portion of the video, of what he took away from it, because he put it on TikTok, he must have made, I think, 8 or 7 pieces of it to really get his story out there. I asked Bedell if you can get in contact with that guy and have him on your show, but maybe do a special Zoom presentation or something where he can interview this guy, and then there won't be any hijacking of the information. Because one of the things the guy was saying, he said, I was shown all of this. They actually sit in houses like we do, and they watch TV, but guess what they watch? They watch us. And the one thing that he said, the ones that made the Bigfoot species look like us, but they're not us. They're not from Africa, none of that. They look like us, but they're not us. And the Bigfoot that was talking to him said, I'm warning you of that. Be aware of those that look like you. So now, I want you to think about something. When we talk about all the different races and stuff and that exist on this planet, and then you have some certain race that have a dislike against the black race, because in their eyes, they've seen the black race do things that they don't like or they're scared of. Like certain Hindus don't like blacks because they've seen tribes of people of this color or darker who are cannibals. They eat cannibal eaters, tribe. So they think everybody that's this color, some of them, I'm going to clarify like that, some of them think all the black people are like that. And the reason why I talk about this is my personal experience of where I lived in an apartment complex that had a lot of the West Indian culture people that were living there. Now, I have no problem. I'm like, hey, let's, I'm all about, let's get together, let's share food. I'm very much so into different cultures of foods and stuff, learning about different culture. But in this part of my life timeline of 2019 to 2022, that time period right in there, that was not a very fun time for me, because I literally was scared that because of the fear that they were taught and what they saw, and this came from living in their country and what they know of different tribes of color of this were doing. So they just automatically thought everybody was doing that. So it made me very, like, had to be aware of my surroundings. Okay, and in their holy scripture book that they read, some of them, what they're believing, there's a section in there that says if you see anybody of this, we're classified as lower than an ant, to get rid of us, kill it. They have the right to kill us. And I'm like, oh my God, why would you put this in a holy script book, the Veda book? This what? So I remember when I saw that, I was like, So now I take it and I tie it all together. And I said, oh my gosh. The ones that walk around and look like us, that are not us, have done a lot of bad things, not just to us, but a whole bunch of other people. So how do you tell the difference between us and them? And then I started thinking back with all the movies that were coming out, like back when we saw the movies Get Out, and then the movie, the same person I think that made the movie Get Out made the other one Us, that one, and that was a deep one. It was like, And now we start putting it together. And one of the message part of the video that BDL showed yesterday, the Bigfoot said, I share this with you and I show you this so that you guys can remember who you are. So you can remember who you are. How powerful you are. You're connected to portals. You're connected to stargates. You can go in and out of those. So what's taking place on our planet right now? We got a lot of stargates being activated that are just, for some reason, randomly appearing. Or should I put like this? Randomly being uncloaked. They've been there the whole time, but they have been uncloaked. So now you see them and you're like, holy crap, where did this come from? All of us are going to keep having a lot of this, holy crap, where did this come from moments. Because it's been there the whole time, but it was cloaked. Okay? So the movie is really, really deep. And they do talk a lot of the Galactic Council. But one of the things I thought was really cool is at the very end of the movie, there's this song, and this guy starts singing the song. And when he's singing, I'm like captivated by his voice. I put it in Community so you can listen to this young man sing this song. And when he's singing, when I first listened to it, I kept listening to it over and over. I couldn't really hear the words clearly of what he was saying until I put the capture word on it, and then I was able to hear it, see it, what he was saying. And it says, across endless dimensions. And I thought this was such a beautiful song. Yes, it's so, but this is what he's saying. Sad eyes lost into the dark. I miss to tears the source of my creation, my soul free. From space and time, ready to ride across endless dimensions. So fly me high and hold me tight from empty days to light. Show me stars, oceans of love. Show me the way to reach the core of my life. Now, the core was represented as the seed nucleus inside of the lens that holds all the information of the DNA. Okay? So fly me high and hold me tight from empty deserts to the light. Take me home, back to my soul. Give me gold wings so I can touch the sky. And then he goes into this high octave tone at the very end. And it's this tone when he is singing it at this very high tenor voice. I'm like, holy shit. So good. The way he's just holding it. And then he comes to that, shuts it down. So when you're watching the video and you're hearing the music, the dramatic tone and vibration behind that, that is the harmony code frequency of what Alex was talking about that people needed when the movie was being played. When he brought out the guitar and he was singing the song, he was talking about harmony. And so I thought it was really genius that at the very end, they put this singer in to sing that Nephilim looks like us and children of the women and slept with the fallen. Yes, exactly. So here's the thing. Let's talk about this. We have so many timelines happening right now. And they're all keys. Where do you really want to be? There'll be some timelines that'll snatch people to hold them in a 3. There'll be some that'll snatch them, hold them in a 4, hold them in a 5, hold them in a 6 and a 7. Okay? Yes. So, we are at such a high change, that so-called reset that everybody's been spilling out of their mouths. The reset. This movie definitely takes you into what a reset looks like. We're in that reset moment, but there's going to be a glitch because normally, lovelies, when we go through a reset, we don't remember anything. We don't remember who we are. We come back and we just start all over again until we get to a certain point again, and then it gets wiped again. It's like this game that fucking never ends. It keeps doing the same thing over and over, keep playing the same game over and over, but it never freaking ends because it keeps going. And when it keeps going, it keeps the same others that are not in the circle. We're in the circle, but they're on the outside of the circle. They get to keep moving ahead, but we stay in the center circle asleep. Why they feed, why they manipulate and do all the things what we have been accustomed to, or should I say indoctrinated into, brainwashed into, set into, manipulated into. The stories of truth of what we know, when you really watch that movie, you sit there, the truth is in us. Everything. And what's happening right now is so many of us are it's kind of like someone coming up and saying, okay, it's your turn to bring this piece of the puzzle in. Bing! Someone taps you, and all of a sudden you get this incredible amount of information turned on. You start blah, 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 rattling it off, and all of a sudden it puts out a vibrational signal to the hidden ones, and they put out an alert. Next thing you know, you're getting some kind of colon testing thing in the mailbox. Talking about, we would like for you to participate in the colon test. And I'm like, fucking ain't no, I ain't giving you nothing of that. First of all, I ain't giving you shit. Who the hell are you? You know? So, or things up the nose, or all kind of crazy stuff going on right now. it really, each one of us has a piece of the puzzle. And this is why in the movie, how they sit back and say the web and all the information that's coming out on us, it's not good, because it ruins the fact that they can't stay hidden, because information's coming out. People have access to it. They don't want you to have access to the truth. No, no, no. And the whole movie is like, they don't want people to know that. Too late. Well, now they got to tell you, because game time is at the end. They got to show all the parts. And I think this is where all of us, we get to a place and we're like, especially all the light works, I hear the same thing over and over. I'm so tired, including myself. I'm tired. Can we flip and get to the end of this whole shenanigans? Just get to the end of it. I'm so tired of all the political stuff. I don't want to hear anymore. But I know it's an important timeline to stay alert of, because that timeline is the reset of what's going to happen. Did we put enough energy? Did all of our councils, now I'm going to take you deep, did all of our council members go to all those sacred places, do the alignment, do the activation, do the transmission, break down the codes, activate everything? Did they all make it to those locations? Is everything set to go? Do we have the current correlational signals that are going out to those star beings who are actually here right now, holding and talking through the grid lines of the ley lines and activating things? And with a gentle turn of a Stargate can shift the timeline. And this is why we stand around going, God, it feels like it's Friday when it's a Wednesday. It feels like it's a Sunday when it's a Friday. Because we're all feeling those clickings, turnings. Oh, it's about to get real. It's going to be good. But it's a lot of shifting out of that, the illusion. And I can't think, I still haven't told Bedell that I see him as the son of Thoth. Because he just looks like that. He just puts the information and hands out the transmissions in such a way that it correlates. If you haven't noticed that certain things that you come in contact with throughout your day are messages that are in sync with other things. Like I said, we're all going to watch that movie. We're all going to break down the movie of the creators of the past. We're going to look at that. And then Bedell puts together his thing, and there's portions of his transmission that correlates with the movie. And then all the things that's happening with today, all the way up to now, the intensity of everything that's happening. So yeah, they have a God cell, the crypt. We call it Gitmo. Where'd they go? So the movie, like I said, is a lot of info, and the alignment, because everything's under the vibration and the rule of law. Everything how we want it to be is really up to us. We have the coded cells to flip everything. But for some reason, how we got mind wiped, how we got indoctrinated into the false storyline of what they want you to believe. We followed that. And not only just we followed it, we indoctrinated the children into it. So our grandfathers, grandfathers, moms and dads and sisters, all of us got swiped into the same system. So now when we talk about healing and when we talk about wiping these slate clear, yeah, you're tired. Because this takes a lot of work to clear the false energy out of the cells. We are divine beings. Here it comes, you guys. Let me put the paper down. We're divine beings. And when you are in your divinity of who you are, no artificial can rewrite us. We are unwritable. We are unmimicable. They can show images, they can put in something if they want, but down in the truth of the cells, you can't. There's a code. And each and every one of us has it. And each and every one of us, when the sun and the stars are activating certain energies or codes, when our bodies take that up, it unravels what is hidden in us. And I think one of the most interesting times that we're all in right now is those of us who have been put to sleep the longest and hardest. We're the ones coming out of it the fastest and waking up. And there's no control button that they can push. So that movie, synchronicity-wise, really does line up with what's going on right now, along with a whole bunch of other movies. So if we took that movie and lined it up with Assassin's Creed, there's a whole bunch of stuff in Assassin's Creed, how they were all trying to keep that one apple, but we have to call it a lens, hidden. Because if someone gets that lens, they can manipulate the time. So, yeah. I'd be scared of us too if they saw us coming in a big group, waking up, knowing that there's nothing they can do. Not even sending you a colon thing in the mailbox that you didn't apply for. Now, come on, dark beings that don't have no light. Really? You're going to try to go up in that route? Give me a break. Come on now. Give me a break. So, enough about that, lovelies. How's everybody setting up for their Halloween time? We're going to take a look at some Halloween energy. Just some fun messages. Now, those of you, if you're getting your wands, you need to make sure you know how to bless them up. And one thing about wands, you want to bless them up on a new moon, which is tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's going to be a nice energy. It's going to be 1, 1, 1. Gateway. How many of you want to make a bet that we're going to jump a huge timeline on that time? I bet you will. We are going to jump a big one. Yep, sirree, Bob. We're definitely going to do it. So, your wands, if you have your wands and you haven't, I wish my hat like yours is in storage still and I'm bedridden, back went out. Oh, honey. Oh, no. No, back going out. No. No, 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 no back going out. No back. Your back, if your lower back is hurting you and your back goes out, that's your fear and releasing of the old programming of money. I'm pretty sure a lot of us hit that and we went through that. That's really painful. So that's that healing part that you definitely want to look at. Anything that's dealing with money right now. Remember in the 9 class how we were putting 9s on everything? Now's the time you really want to implement that even more, because we're going through the doorway tomorrow of an 11. That's the door. Okay, stepping through the door. Okay. When you talk to Mother Earth and you talk to her membrane, how you want things to move, be for you, you have to be able to tap into that. And you just go into that energy. You just know that that membrane hears you, like talking to water. Okay? It hears you. So, today we're going to, I'm just going to go down the line, give you a message. If this does not correlate with your belief and you are in your religious belief, this is the time I invite you to please go enjoy the rest of your day. Come back later. If you just want to have fun, then have fun. Have fun. I think enough of us have been stressed enough on this planet. We are beyond stressed. We're to the point to where we're about ready to light up, and we're going to be just like Sophie, how her soul energy just came straight out of her chest and went up, did what it needed to do, and she came back. She even warned the guy, now don't freak out when you see it. Don't freak out. So your wands, a lot of you need to have your wands. And when you bless up your wands, you bless them up to the east, the south, the west, the north. Then you take it up to the heavens, to source. Bring it that down to the positive timeline of Mother Earth. Pay attention. And then bring it back to the heart. Okay, that's the first part of it. Then, when you are blessing up your wand, you want to make sure you pass your wand through those elements. Like an incense or sage or Palo Santos, that would be good. Or tobacco, passing it through for air. The fire, whisking it around the candle. The water, taking a sprinkle of water and put it onto the wand. Pay attention. Salt, sprinkle onto the wand. Pay attention. Then after you have anointed your wand with those elements, and you have given it up to Source and to Mother Earth, positive timeline, okay? You bring it back to the heart. This is where you give the wand the heartbeat, the connection. This is where you take the wand and you give it the imprint of your magical name of yourself. And you say, you are one with me. Pay attention, lovelies. I'm telling you how to make your wand the ultimate key for those portals and stargates. Pay attention. And then you take that wand after it has a heartbeat from you. Now it's imprinted. You take it to the crown, you're connected. You take it to the third eye so you can see and be connected in truth. You take it to the Heka, the throat. When you speak, it hears you. Pay attention. Once again, tapped in at the heart. Connection. Then you move it to the belly, because this is where you feel it. Then you move it to the sacral. Connection. And the root, you tap on the root of creation. Then you finally kneel and touch the left foot and the right foot. And bring your wand back up to center and say it is done. And if your wand has a name, you will speak the name of your wand. And then you will whisper your name to the wand again and say you are one. And now your wand has divine grace because you took it up to source and brought it down to Mother Earth, as above, so below. And then you brought it back to the one who holds the codes of creation, back to the wand. That is how you activate a wand. Now, you can go look around, go look at some outlines, and you might get an outline, but I guarantee you, your wands, when you're especially working with your wands that come from ancient trees that have been on this planet and that were taken away from us because they were connected to a certain part of our DNA, and then you go and get those sacred wands made from those trees who have been silent until you say their names. And then you become one with those tree spirits. There's the crystal wands, yes. Then there's the tree spirit wands. And then those wands are sacred to you when you open up timeline portals. You're shifting things. You don't like something, start practicing. Shift the timeline. There's a reason why they call it quantum jumping. What do you think you're really jumping into? Oh, you didn't like that? Just step over and get onto a different timeline. Okay? Same with the crystal wands. If you have a crystal wand. Okay? Yeah. Now, what's so beautiful about the bee wand is that the bee came to me when I went to the park, sat in front, and then another honeybee came and got on my shoulder and was walking on my shoulder. Did not get stung. And there's this story of when bees know who you are, and you've been to their divine world, which I have been, they know you. And they won't sting you. The only ones that'll come looking for you are the shadow ones, the dark ones. And those are the ones that are not so nice. But when you have the honeybees, they come back and give you some sweetness. I don't know, like something like this, yeah. Deliciousness. So when you go and select wands of this, yes, they gave me a shot yesterday in muscle pills and lidocaine patches. Yes. Bees on, oh man, a bee on this ring. Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh, look at that. He's got a bee on this crypt ring. Yeah, I saw that. Those rings were connections and activation codes. There's so much in that movie. I'm actually going to go back in and watch it again. This time, just watch it without writing everything down and getting the notes and breaking things down. I'm actually just want to watch it and see what I pick up on. And it puts you in a time shift. When you're watching that movie, you're like, you're here. You don't hear nothing else outside of you. You're just in that space with that movie. It's a trip. It's a trip, you guys. It's a trip. Yes, creators. The past. Free on Tubi. Now, I don't know. I never even saw that come up. Never saw the advertisement of it. Nothing. Okay? Never saw it. All right. Love Me First. Love Me First, you're going to get the first card. Then Natural, Donna. Then it's going to go from there. Okay. Love Me First, 1. Halloween ones. What you do? What you doing? 2. Oh, this is going to be a wake-up call for you. Yeah, I wanted to wear my hat because this is the whole year. Deb's been gone now. This is my second Halloween without her, because when she crossed over, suddenly it was like we were going to be going into, after coming out of summer, going into the Halloween festival time. And she has the same hat. So her hat and her prayer stick and her broom stands at the doorway. And that's where she is. Okay. Ah! Okay, so Love Me First. You got the Wiccan read. It's all about the being in the law of what you're saying, doing. You work with your will, staying in power. The Halloween card that goes with that, this is weird. This is like the invisibility. Being in that cloaking. Don't show everybody all your stuff of what you do. Okay? You know what? You gotta, don't share all your stuff right now, because not everybody is gonna be wanting you to do what you want to do. Okay? You have whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, keep it to yourself until it's done, because you got the shooting star in its confirmation. Okay? Got the shooting star. You got to be authentic. Keep it true to yourself, because at the end, it's all about the love. And it matches your name. Okay? So these were your cards. Boom. 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 Okay. On to the next. Your magic awaits. Okay. Marty. One. 2. 3. 4. Here we go. All right, here's the message. Oh, we got Watchtower of the East. Things will get better by spring. Everything will be in balance. Okay? Shifting. That's going to be for a lot of us. It's a doorway shifting. Now, you got the werewolf. Like, you got to explore some wildness. You gotta have that wildness coming in. Okay? I know. This might be the hubby. I don't know. Wheel of Fortune. Gotta keep that faith. It's coming. You're in it. You just gotta align with it. Stay in that. Because guess what, girlfriend? Boom! You got the manifestation card. So It's kind of like sometimes we got to go out into the moonlight, code and imprint and connect, have our feet on the earth, run that energy through. Okay? That's what it is. So, walking good in spring, got to get a little bit wild, have some faith. It's manifestation time. Okay, next one is going to be natural heaven. Dot, dot, dot. So if you want to be after natural heaven, you got to put your name in. Just type in a love emoji things. You're welcome, huh? It's shifting. It's just all about getting out of the old timelines. That's all. Everyone, your money stuff, myself included, okay? All that stuff is going to be undone. And I know you're all waiting. Just hold on. Okay, just hold on. You got to remember, they did you wrong. Okay, they did you wrong. So, if you were going to change things, you're just going to move ahead. Okay, move your timeline ahead. Okay, I'm lit natural. Oh, natural, look out. Look at the, oh, shut up. Cards don't lie. That's why I love doing the cards. I love doing the reads. Okay, here we go. You're going to be just fine. You the witch. You the healer. Be that. Witch, people saying that word like it's a bad thing. When we see witch, we see the wise one. We see the healer. We see the one that's not afraid. We see the strength. When you also see the cauldron, the synergy, and the healing. Look at this. You got all the healing cards. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Then you see the footprints of direction. You need to take different direction. And this last card is going to get you. And the different direction means energetically what's pulling on you so much and that's hurting you. Here's the last card. This is going to flip you out. Okay, you ready? Because what you've been telling me you've been having problems with, boom. Look how she's sitting. She's showing her back. So now here's the thing. Your back, you need to look at beauty of the self. And let that be the extra healing that you do for yourself. Okay? So, be the witch, be the healer. You got all the elements connected. Be the cauldron. Mix it up. Get that synergy going. Take some footsteps. Where do you need to be? Where do you not need to be? And then step into the beauty of the self and heal that. Release that. When's the last time you just fell into the self and said, I just needed some time to just recoup with myself. This is what that is. It literally is that. Okay? Isn't that cool? Okay, Cosmic Flower, you're up. Oh, Donna, I'm sorry. Donna and then Cosmic Flower. Okay, Donna. Here we go. You're welcome. Okay, Donna. Donna. Daylight coming and you want to go home. It's finally just catching up with me. Had to reconnect. I was singing the song. All right, here we go. Ooh, nice. Ooh, joy. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, here we go. Okay. Get that power out. Get that athame. Set your boundaries. Set those boundaries. Don't be afraid of it because then you bring in the joy. Bring in that joy, sit in joy, got to be in that joy energy. Then the magical energy that comes with that is smoke. Speak the prayer, speak the words through the smoke itself. Smoke is sacred. It is air. It causes it to flow. And then the final say is the recollection. Who do you need to rejoin back up to? Or is it rejoining back to the self and being true to the self and really doing what makes you happy? Is it that? Take a look. So you have power time. Athame is all about that direction. It's the same thing like a wand, okay? Then you have the joy, points and directions. You got the smoke and the recollections. Boom, shada boom. All right, now I'm on to. You're welcome. I'm on to. Wait a minute, who was that? Cosmic Flower. Okay, Cosmic Flower. Yes, we're gonna see lots of UFOs. They're all around us, hiding in the clouds. Clouds aren't working anymore. Can see 'em even with the shadows on the floor. Da 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 da. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that information? Okay, Cosmic. Here we go. Ooh, we got homecoming. What you need to come home to. What's that? Coming back to the south. We have the jack-o'-lantern. Protection. Looking for protection. You want to kind of come home, you need that protection. Oh, but stay focused. You got an arrow. Where are you shooting the energy? How are you aiming? And then we have the confidence. You know what to do. Have the confidence. Have the confidence. Okay. So you have that homecoming, coming home. What are you wanting to come home to? Then you have the jack-o'-lantern. Then you have the arrow. Got to be focused. And then you have the confidence. Okay. So what's going to be coming through the door tomorrow when you step through the door? How are you bringing the door? Okay. What's coming through the door? Okay. I think I got everybody. That song is in my head. Pearly, are you still in the house, Pearly? Mystic Healer, are you still in the house? Tap in. Yeah, who is that? Cortez? No, I'm not hating on nobody, but it's like we ain't got time for games and stuff. That song is in my head. Okay, Mystic Healer, here comes yours. Because he's so powerful when he sings that song. It's like I sit up and I'm like, God, he's singing that song from his soul. So beautiful. You guys, if you haven't listened to that song, I put it in the community. Go listen to it. It's that kind of energy that makes you go, ooh. Kind of puts chills down your spine. Okay, Mystic. What's the message for you? Okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh. Okay, here we go. You're doing some cleansing. Cleansing through the waters. Got to do some cleansing. Because you have something that's the ghost of the past or a ghost energy, which is the regret. What is the regret? What is the regret? What are you talking to yourself about? What are you making yourself feeling guilty about? What's that regret? Let that go, because you have the wishbones where you just need to have that good affirmation connection. You're not what your regret of the ghost is. Have the affirmation. And then there is bring yourself to peace. Let it go. Be done with it. Okay? Don't let the past keep hunting you. What do? So you got the cleansing. You got ghosts, what you're regretting. Okay? Then you got the wishbone. And then you got peace. So, let's see. Does that make sense? Of course it does. Okay, so I think that's it. So tonight, this evening, we're having ghoulish salmon. Now, I have a special way I make my salmon. Do I share? Should I share it? Okay. Now, the salmon is non-GMOs, clean, it's way up Arctic-wise where to get it. And I take it and I put a little, I put a little bit of water in the pan. Okay, just a little bit, for steaming. You want to cover the bottom of the pan. After you rinse off the fish, you take and place it into the pan. Take a lemon, one lemon, cut it in half. This is the trick to having it perfectly steamed and taste so good. Okay, this is the trick, the lemon. You take the lemon, cut it in half, squeeze the lemon juice on top of the salmon. Okay, have the heat at medium heat. Then you take and you have your garlic powder and onion powder if you want, or onion salt. Not too much salt. Okay, do the powder if you can. Sprinkle that on top, and any other seasonings, herbal seasonings you want to put on it. If you want to put some basil, if you want to put a little bit of mixture, whatever you want to put on top of that, put that mixture on there. Stay in your magical way when you're cooking it. Okay, so then you have the heat up, let it have a lid. Put the lid on top. Let it start doing its steaming thing. Let it keep going. As soon as you start seeing the top part turning pink, you go cook pink, you go and take more lemon, put it on top of that. Throw in a piece of rosemary if you want to, fresh rosemary, or bay leaf, or fresh basil if you want to do that. You can do that. Throw that in, and then put the lid back on it. So then go and do the cha-cha for about 5 minutes. Okay? Just a little bit. Do a little bit. Then you got to do your turn. And then turn the other way. And then you go, hop-pa, hop-pa, hop-pa. And then click off the stove. And say, I will be done. And then you will have the perfect salmon cooked so perfectly. Let it stay. Keep that lid on it. Let it stay just like that. Okay, let it stay. Let it get all steamed up. As the heat goes down, it finishes steaming up the rest of the fish. Okay, so this is where you get the nice flavor. You can drizzle some more lemon on that. Put it all on there, and it just tastes really good. That's how you set it up. Yes, you got to do the dance with it too. Yeah, don't forget to do the dancing with it. Okay, so then I'm putting asparagus with that. And I take the asparagus, chop those up, take off the hard part of it, chop it up, put it into the pan, steam a little bit of water, a little bit of salt, sprinkle of that, chopped up garlic, sliced up red onion, boom, boom, boom. Toss that in. And then you have that, and then place the lid on top of it until you start to see them turn a darker green. As soon as you start seeing the asparagus turn to a darker green, take the lid off, pop yourself some butter in there, about 2 pats of butter. Boom, boom. Put it in there. Make sure it gets all coated into the butter. Sprinkle a little bit more of the garlic powder or garlic salt on top. Put the lid on, turn off the heat, let it steam. You're done. There you go. You got the nice water connection plus the omega oils that comes from the fish that's going to be nourishing to brain tissue. Then you have the asparagus that are going to help you get your kidneys back on track. It's really good for that, asparagus. Okay, So just know when you drink water, if you find yourself going to the restroom a little bit more frequency, asparagus does that to you. And it has a little strange odor with it. It's kind of interesting how our bodies process asparagus and what it does. Okay. Any questions before I go into the kitchen and start whipping up food? But that music, go listen to that song if you guys haven't listened to that song. That song is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's powerful. Powerful song. And it's at the end of the movie, he's singing. When you get part of the credits, he's singing and he's off to the side in black and white when he's singing it. So just in case when the movie was over, you were like, okay, it's over. I always watch to the very end because how many movies, especially with Marvel and all the other movies, they always have a surprise scene at the end to kind of give you a hint of a clue of what's coming down the pike for later. Okay, they always do that. So make sure today is a day if you're going to have what I call the spirit meal. You make sure your home is smudged really well. You set up a protective circle that only your ancestors of the utmost highest frequency can come through. Okay. Don't be playing with a Ouija board. Don't be trying to go play Wednesday Addams Ouija board. I saw that at Spirit. I was like, okay. You do not know how to open up a Ouija board and know how to close it. You leave it open for visitors and for things to start taking place. Don't do that. Okay? Don't be playing with the Ouija boards. You got to know how to open and close. Okay? You really do. And anything, if you were someone who was going to do a Ouija board, you have to make your own. Because then when you're creating it, you know what you are linking it up to. That's how that goes. Okay? Yes, you have to make your own. Make your own board. Have your own glass. Put your own symbols. Call in your divided, your protector ones to come and protect your board when you're on it. I made 7 glass boards. Okay, they were made out of glass back in the day. And I think I still have 2 of them. 5 of them I gave away to friends of mine. And I use the top part of the glass that comes off of those big candles where you pop the lid off and it's a glass piece and the candle's all glass. That makes a beautiful planchette. Take the rubber part off, use that. Then you have the glass, you set it up. You make sure that when you are creating that portal to talk to, the angels that you want to watch over that, you make sure their name sigil is on it. That way they control that and it's protected. Then you make sure when you're calling in the directions and creating a circle, when you're communicating with it, because it is a portal that's activated when you're using it, that you open it and then you close it. A lot of people get in trouble, they don't close it. They just put it back in a box and wonder why they're having problems. You have to close it. And it's not by just saying goodbye. There's a whole prayer that you do to close it down. Okay? But tonight is not the night to be on that. Tonight's the night you set up the plate to have a loved one come and sit at the table and light the candles, play some nice music, and just offer a meal to your beloved ones to partake in. And everyone sits and be quiet at the table and listen to the crack sounds, the popping sounds, the sounds that come around. Listen to those sounds. Then you might hear something in another room taking place. This is the night when you'll see or get messages from your loved ones even more clearly. And it will stay with us because we are going through a very big transitional time. It's not going to be the reset that they want, but it'll be the reset that we want. Isn't that what it's all about, lovelies? Put about the cloth that comes in Pritchland and like the Ouija board. Yes, with all the letters in the circle. Yes, 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 yes. Though when you design one, you have to understand the ones that made it the original, like on the wood and stuff, and how they made it a game. They already spellbound it with certain lower demons that can come to that, because depending on which boards have certain demons with it is what you're invoking in. So there's a why it's better if you make your own. My mom made one just on a coffee table. She says, we did something, we were always doing stuff when we were younger. She cut out the letters out of paper. I was like, what are you doing, Mom? She goes, I'm going to show you something. Magical moms always show you stuff. Put it on the table. She laid the letters out, made a circle to the ordinary glass, put it in the middle. Boom. That's what she did. And then when it was done, she took the glass, flipped it up, washed it off, took the letters off the table backwards, and then she came through and wiped the table with vinegar and lemon. Just vinegar. Cut the whole thing. And then covered it up. We had dinner. That was like my lesson of the day. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. But it's funny, your grandmas and your moms and, when your grandmas and everyone gets in the kitchen and they be a-talking. They be talking about things. And you, the young one, you remember when you go into those kitchens and they be mixing and stirring and talking and gossiping about so-and-so down the street and what so-and-so did and da-da-da-da-da. And then they always talk about that woman back up in the hills. Everybody know who that woman is. Mm-hmm. Everybody know that woman that comes through the bios, come on through there. Nobody wants to see that woman alone. Nobody, but everybody knows about that woman. That's the woman everybody goes and sees when they can't get their problems solved. They all be talking about that woman. That woman. That woman that they all be looking for, be wondering about. They don't want to talk too much about. Especially on this day. They say that woman likes to come down from her quiet place. Come down and get her shopping on. And then she goes back to her place to be mixing. Yeah, that woman. The woman that everybody's scared of on this night. Are you that woman? I see you. Have a good day.